Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Coble, Chair of Intellectual Property and Artificial Intelligence at Rose Law Group. One of the most common topics of conversation I have is with companies who are looking to incorporate AI tools as a way to provide automated interactions with customers. They see all these new types of technologies out there like ChatGPT and Copilot that can provide natural language, conversational style interactions with customers and are looking to see if they can deploy that as a way to provide reliable and automated interactions with their consumers. These types of AI systems can take a variety of forms. Sometimes they might look like a simple chatbot, but increasingly they are looking more and more like voice-to-voice type technologies, where users can interact with the AI using their voice, and the AI will respond using audible cues. So companies are looking at ways that they can deploy these types of technologies to interact and serve their customers. So it caught my eye when I saw a recent survey conducted by a group called Guide2Fluency that targeted the accuracy of various voice-to-voice AI systems. And I'll put the results of this survey on my screen so that you can see them. The survey was conducted across the United States, across a wide variety of geographic locations as well as cultures. And I think that the results are fairly interesting. One of the things that I found most interesting is that the results here, the accuracy of voice-to-voice systems, does not seem to be related to any particular geography or any cultural touchstone. Rather, it crosses the landscape across the entire country and various types of subcultures within the country. So accuracy with voice-to-voice technologies, AI systems, is a challenge for a wide variety of people, not just a single demographic. Now, one thing to note, AI technologies are not perfect. They have their accuracy issues, but these technologies are leaps and bounds better than the predecessors in voice detection that we've seen for the past couple of decades. So even though there are some issues, particularly with regard to specific accents and the accuracy of particular models with regard to those accents, these are much better than the previous iterations of voice transcription and voice recognition technology. So what should companies think about when they see a survey like this and are looking to deploy some AI voice-to-voice technology? There's three, I think, main takeaways that companies need to think about. The first is to be extra cautious when deploying these types of technologies in mission-critical tasks or tasks that touch on the company's core functions. So these might be anything from, financial transactions to the sales and operations of the company. When companies are looking to deploy these types of technologies, they should be cautious and deploy them first in areas of the company that might not be mission critical or not going to alter a user's or consumer's core relationship with the company in a negative way. The second point that goes a lot along with the first is to test these systems again. It's important to not rush too quickly into deploying an AI technology like any emerging technology, because if you do that without sufficient testing, you can run into all sorts of unforeseen problems. We've seen companies and organizations, including governmental organizations, deploy AI systems like chatbots too quickly, only to see some negative and unforeseen results. For example, some chatbots have negotiated bad deals that the companies have later been found to be contractually obligated to uphold. And in other instances, such as in New York City, a chatbot that was deployed too quickly advised users, small business owners, on methods to break the law. So these are some examples of how testing could mitigate potential and unforeseen results in the AI systems. Ideally, when deploying an AI system such as this, you would include a human in the loop from the beginning in 100%, in at least as many of those AI decisions as possible, so that if the AI were to come up with some sort of unforeseen, inexplicable, or unwanted result, the human could intervene and prevent a negative experience on the consumer's behalf. Ideally, you'd be able to, over time, ratchet down the level of human intervention so that you could hand off the majority, if not all, of the tasks to the AI system. But it's part of that robust testing process that will ensure that you mitigate any potential liability from deploying these types of technologies. And of course, whenever you do deploy these, you want to make sure that you are properly protected with the right contractual obligations, as well as notices to the public when they're interacting with AI technologies, and appropriate privacy policy to ensure that the consumer data is appropriately handled. And the final thing to consider when looking at a survey like this is that these are characteristics of various models, and the accuracy of different models is going to depend significantly on how those models were trained. All AI systems generally operate under the same principle, that they have an algorithm that is trained by using pre-existing examples of data. In this case, it might be pre-existing voice recordings that are paired with transcriptions so that the algorithm can learn what each word sounds like. Pros and cons are that the algorithm gets to be trained on a wide variety of potentially different accents, but the con is that the algorithm is always going to be beholden to whatever was in the training data. So the more prevalent a particular accent is in a training set, the better the algorithm is likely to be able to recognize that accent. Conversely, the less prevalent that there are examples in the training set of a particular accent, the less likely that the algorithm is going to perform well when it encounters that accent in the real world. So it's critical to carefully calibrate your model that you select to the chosen application. And look at these as characteristics of the models, which can be either features or bugs depending on the application. There might be situations in which the accuracy of particular given accents is irrelevant to the application, in which case that might be an excellent application to use a cheaper and potentially less well-trained model. However, in circumstances that are more mission critical, or that touch on the core functions of a company and of a user experience, you're going to want to spend a little bit more time ensuring that your model is well calibrated to provide a good user experience for all of your potential users. That's it for today. Be sure to follow along with Rose Law Group for more artificial intelligence and emerging technology legal news.